the pie for everybody is not a bad idea. He has different interpretations of that. So the Washington Free Beacon staff writer Liz Harrington, the numbers can't be denied, Liz. You know, there is more sort of a feel-goodness that's coming with the tax cuts here, as has typically happened with tax cuts going back to Bill Clinton or George Bush Jr. or Ronald Reagan, or even back to JFK after he died and his tax cuts came to fruition. But they're greeted by doubt, and then people see them for themselves and they like it, right?
Right. It's easy to see why they've become more popular, because contrary to what Democrats told you, like Nancy Pelosi, that the tax cuts were going to be Armageddon and that people would die, the Americans actually see tangible results from the tax cuts, which is not only the bonuses, but they can look at their paycheck and they see they can keep more of their own money. They see higher wages. So they have tangible benefits to look to. And for Democrats, the problem is, unlike 2010, when Republicans stood unified against Obamacare, Democrats stood unified against tax cuts, but tax cuts are actually popular. Obamacare wasn't, and the Democrats had to own Obamacare in 2010. It led to a wave election for Republicans. Republicans can own these tax cuts, and I think it helps them in 2018 midterms.
The question is whether it helps them enough to hang on to the House. They almost invariably lose seats. That is the party in power in these midterm elections. The question is they can't lose a couple of dozen, right?
Right. And so Democrats should have a natural advantage going into 2018 because Republicans have unified government. They control everything. So, but in order for this to be a wave year, I think there has to be a bigger outside issue, whether in 2006 the Democrats ran on the unpopularity of the Iraq War. In 2010, Republicans ran on Obamacare. What do the Democrats have to run on? If it's only opposition to Trump, I don't think that's enough. And what issues have they picked up? They've picked up the Dreamers, and now it looks like they're picking up gun control, which neither are popular issues for the American people. So again, like you say, I think they are in a good position to pick up some seats. But how many can they pick up based on that coalition of gun control and illegal immigration and just anti-Trump resistance? I'm not sure it's enough for a wave election.
You know, Liz, you follow this stuff so much better than I, but I get a gut feeling that the school shooting last week in Florida is a little bit different, not only because of the palpable rage on the part of students, some as young as 13, 14 years old, heading, in this case, to Tallahassee, eventually to Washington next month by the hundreds, thousands maybe, that they're sick of it. They're tired of it. We hear about the notion that, you see something, you say something, folks did, some of these kids did, and nothing came of it, and they're tired of it. They're angry at the president, they're angry at Congress, they're angry at their lawmakers, they don't distinguish apparently between parties. And I'm wondering how much of a wild card that is this election year.
It certainly could be, but when you think about what happened in Newtown, which was a horrific example of elementary students, nothing did change when it comes to gun laws, because there's an argument of what would gun laws actually, gun control laws actually do to stop this.
But I'm not even thinking in terms of just gun laws. I think people are looking at how does someone, with the mental background, that this guy did, that still get a gun, maybe upwards of 10 guns. The people are questioning the whole thing, the proclivity, the influence of violent video games and movies. We're told that a number of the visits police had to his house over the years concerned his mother taking away his Xbox games. That, in other words, there's more to this than just the gun lobby, and more to this than this Hollywood, more to this than this mental health. It's all in the mix. And people, young people in particular, are throwing up their arms, and their parents are throwing up their arms and saying, no, no, no.
Right. I mean, it really should be dissatisfaction with law enforcement and government. If you were already upset about the FBI and handling of the Clinton email investigation or something like that, I mean, you have to be upset that they had not one but two very credible tips about this guy. And then the cops going to this guy's kid's house 39 times. All the warning signs, it seems
I just
to
think
be,
there's a rage there that we're not appreciating. We might think is short-lived. I could be wrong. This time, I'm not so sure, but
it'll be interesting to see who benefits from that.
Yeah. Hopefully neither benefits, and this will pox on both their houses to just do something, finally. A little more after this.